People who pooped on the bathroom floor in high school, why? Someone just destroyed a bathroom at my middle school I work at. It doesn't punish the school, a teacher or a principal. It punishes the custodians, who happen to be some of the nicest people you will ever meet. I'll never forget walking into the bathroom in high school and seeing the janitor cleaning a massive shit out of the urinal, just sobbing. This makes me so sad. There is a mystery suspect making a mess of the bathrooms at my business right now, not a school, grown-ups-ish work here. Throwing used toilet paper on the ground, pissing all over, wiping poop on the toilet paper dispenser. They go to the bathroom with no cameras outside, but despite that I've still narrowed it down to one of about 12 people. I'll catch you eventually. Update, it's been completely quiet so nothing to look into since that post. I think my original post made it seem like this is playing out on a faster timeline than it is. It hasn't been a daily thing, just 4 to 5 times over the last few months. Honestly, if it just stops altogether that would be fine with me, if unexciting for anyone following this. I'm pretty sure this is somebody with some mental health issues. If the activities just stopped without a satisfying resolution, I'd assume they either started to get their head straight, or they got fired for something else and this would just be a side bonus for that. If anything further does come of this, I'll make a point of making a post somewhere to update everyone. Mount a discreet wireless one outside that bathroom. Go check immediately after every person uses it. One day of lost productivity would be worth it. Exactly. Also, I'm wondering how he's narrowed it down to 12 people. Are there 12 regulars that spend a decent amount of time in the restroom? Sounds like it's a business office place and they probably can't set up any external cameras. His best bet is coordinating frequent bathroom visits between himself and some trusted coworkers. It's only happened I think 4 or 5 times so far, and we're talking a staff of over 150 with people moving around a lot. We're doing exactly what you suggested. I can tell it's happening early in the morning, amongst other patterns that we've noticed. They also wipe boogers all over everything. I expect a full post about this once the person is caught and brought to justice. Yes, please. I need answers. My main question is, why? Asserting dominance in the workplace. An act of defiance. I love how posts bleed into each other. For the same reason people knock over a garbage can or plug up the sink, it's a small act of antisocial behavior. I worked in a movie theater as a teen. Right in the middle of the bathroom floor someone dropped one of the largest turds I've ever seen. The main log was incredibly dry and about the width of a Pringles can. I still debate to this day whether the poor bastard shat that out real time, or multi-shat in an actual Pringles can and then dumped it on the floor. Given the size of the log, the time it would take any normal person to squeeze such a massive grogan out, and the absence of blood, I'm leaning toward the Pringles can theory. Edit, thanks for the awards and opiate poop education everyone. Once you pop you just can't stop. Oh, edit, most upvotes ever, thanks guys, 3. Once you pop you can't stoop. I don't get it. Oh, once you pop you can't stop. It's pretty obvious. Oh, once you poop you just can't stoop. Say this in a Dutch accent. What the hell do the Dutch even sound like? Like the Dutch. Thanks for clearing that up. They also sound like people from the Netherlands. You think this is limited to high school? I've heard horror stories from my friends who work in nice, professional offices where people poop on the floor and smear it all over the stalls. I was in RA for 3 years, and we always trained with other RAs and swapped stories. Our largest female-only reshal had around 1,000 occupants, and every year, there was a new poop smearer on a different floor. It never happened in the male or co-ed halls, just there, about every 3 to 5 weeks. I was in RA for a male dorm for 2 years. Never did anyone ever poop smear. Drunk people pissed everywhere, but no poop smearing. Same, brah, same. One RA had a kid piss on his door every Saturday morning between 3 to 5 a.m. The RA was universally disliked, but that was too far. He stayed up one Saturday when he was on call and waited for the dude. Opens the door mid-piss and the dude falls into his room and rolls around soaking everything in piss. Kid got kicked off campus. RA did not return after that year. I was in RA and I hated those dickhead RAs that I had to work with. They were always trying to catch residents to get them kicked out for stupid things so no one liked them. It was really pathetic that they power tripped as in raw. I know every raw like that never amounted to anything after college. The only people I ever had to bust for alcohol were morons that were drinking with their window shades open at night with their light on. The building manager saw this from the parking lot and said we had to stop them. I took pictures of only one bottle and said to shut their window shades and get rid of it. Then I turned in the report the next day. It felt stupid to do that, but we were forced to. Normally as in raw, we just told people to turn down the ducking music and stop trying to bring attention to themselves. We said if we came back we would bust them. But we never came back. The only people that I would try to get in trouble really were dicks that kept refusing to turn down their music in the middle of the night while others were trying to sleep. And I am talking loud as fuck music you could hear from the next floor. Some people were just assholes that had no business being in college. Yeah, I was a total shit raw in the other direction my first year. Thought talking to people was consequence enough. That stopped when a resident of mine almost died from alcohol poisoning after I'd already told them to keep it down, and I knew that I could have done more to prevent that. I found a good mentor my second year and found a solid middle ground. I even made a career of life and property management. There's definitely a good middle road where you offer valuable advice and also maintain hall rules, but it ain't always easy, and documentation is important. My chemistry teacher told us a story about a student who positive was an old god of lore. He took a shit in a cabinet of the most hated teacher in a high school of 3,000 students, and that old cunt let it sit there for weeks. It hardened to the cabinet, and the only reason it got taken care of was because someone reported the horrible smell. Why? Because she told him he couldn't go to the bathroom, no reason given. Saw a kid urinate in a trash can in the corner of the classroom once because a teacher wouldn't let him go to the bathroom. Pretty sure the teacher was right and the kid would have just went to the cafeteria to hang out, but he felt challenged when the teacher said no, I guess. Kids. My friend in middle school did the same thing. He legitimately had to go and the teacher was a substitute for the day that couldn't handle the classroom anymore. He asked a few more times and couldn't hold it anymore. I think the teacher was in the wrong. I once was denied bathroom by a sub. She told me 3 times and by that time I couldn't hold it in, so I just ran out the class. This is the proper response. Like yo, let me go relive myself, I'm gonna do it one way or another and I'm more so letting you know than asking permission. Take it up with the principal if you got a problem with that lol. Maybe because I was never really told I could go to the bathroom, but if I had been told no and I needed to go, I would have just gone. I'd rather get detention than pee my pants. Or worse. Expelled? Okay, it wasn't a bathroom floor, it was the floor of a laundromat at an apartment complex at which I lived. I was 12 and got home after walking from school. But Dad hadn't gotten home yet, so I was locked out of the apartment. For the record, as a kid I didn't shit at school. Couldn't. So now I didn't know what to do, but I knew the shit was coming. I tried holding it and I promise. I moved around, tried occupying my mind with other things, tried running. Next thing I know I'm in the corner of the laundromat shitting on the floor. God, I'm so ashamed to admit this even 15 years later. I have nightmares about the cleaning staff or the unlucky tenant just trying to get their clothes out of the dryer and coming upon a steaming hot shit right the duck there. I try to convince myself that they all must have thought it was a dog, but I remember. That shit was distinctly human. It haunts my soul. They saw it on the cameras and just said a prayer after every time they saw you since. Mama. Here he comes. El Chico que es caca grande. I can recognize just enough Spanish to make that hilarious. So this is slightly off topic but relevant nonetheless. When I was young I went to after school care at a local rec center. One day I was there and went to use the bathroom. I was taking a leak at a urinal and I kept smelling shit and I figured someone had just took a huge dump recently and that's what I was smelling. So I finished up peeing and getting ready to go wash my hands and just happened to peek at the ceiling. I'm sure at this point you understand where this is going, but directly above where I was peeing, there was a turd stuck to the ceiling. How?